Hey guys! So I cast on the 26 stitches indicated in the pattern and we're ready to get into seed stitch. I want to make one quick note about the language before I get in because I realize that it can be confusing. I'm telling you we're doing seed stitch and then I'm going on to only talk about knitting and purling. And so what's happening is that each of these individual stitches will either be worked as a knit or a purl stitch. The way into which these knit and purl stitches are combined, the overall pattern in which they're organized, creates an effect known as seed stitch. So we're ready to start. Push that work up to the top of your needles. Grab some extra yarn to work with. Get this out of the way and let's go. As you might have noticed in the written part of this post, seed stitch is just alternating knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, all the way down one row. And on the way back, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. So I'm going to show you several times how to do each of those stitches, and that's all you need to know to just continue through working the body of the washcloth until we get to the bind off or the cast off. As you'll recall from the cast on video, to knit we start with this yarn in the back, take the second needle and work it from the bottom to the top and from the front to the back through that loop, like so. Wrap the yarn around the needle, pull it down and through, and now the only difference with the cast on is that rather than passing it on to that stitch, we slip it off. And it stays on the second needle, the working needle. To purl is the exact same thing as knitting, done with mirror image symmetry. So we began to knit with the yarn in the back, and we begin a purl with the yarn in the front. To knit, we used this needle to go up and back. To purl, we go down and towards the front, like so. And then same, you just pull the yarn through, this time up through that loop, and slip it off, and that's it. You just purled a stitch. So we'll knit again, keeping the yarn in the back. We go up, up, and back. Wrap that yarn around. Pull it, oops, it slipped off. So the needle's in the back, yarn's wrapped around, down and through, slip it off. To purl, we pass the yarn in front, put this working needle down and towards the front, pass the yarn up and through. So I'll just do a couple more of each without talking, trying to just show you as clearly as possible what I'm doing. Knit, don't do that. That was me just letting a cast on stitch slip off your needle. So knitted, and now I'm purling a stitch. I never really realized how much I move my hands while knitting until I'm trying to do it very still now in front of a video for all of you. So one more time, knit, yarn in the back, needle goes up and back, yarn around, pull it down and through, and over, purl. Yarn in the front, needle goes down, in front, pull the yarn up, through, and off. It's too early now to really see on this, with this tiny bit done, what it's going to look like. But if you grasp the knit and the purl stitch, then you can just start knitting away the rest of the pattern and you'll slowly see the pattern emerge as you do more and more rows. And so happy knitting, and when you're ready to cast off, Come back and check out the third video, and I'll show you how to end your work.